So now we've been speaking a little bit about AI. I'm really excited to welcome Thomas from HubSpot on stage. Welcome. Yeah, we'll have quite a full room. Oh, Russell, sorry. Ah voilà, ben, bienvenue Thomas. No, so Russell from HubSpot. So make yourself comfortable. Enjoy. We've got another 20 minutes, and I think we've got a break after that. So welcome on stage.
Thank you very much. Vous m'entendez? Ça va? Cool. Je ne vais pas vous embêter en présentant en français pour tuer la langue française, mais ça fait 5 ans que je vis ici en France et je vous remercie toutes et tous qui sont français pour l'accueil. Many people use the words magic and AI interchangeably. I don't believe in magic. And what I do believe in is the power of strategic, intelligent use of AI to transform the go-to-market motion in 2024 and 2025. The problem that I see with AI and how it's being used in the go-to-market motion today is that people want a larger megaphone. They want to shout louder. And what they are actually looking to buy is cheap emails, cheap social media, cheap photos, cheap video, cheap websites, so that they can shout at their customers, which is maybe efficient, but it is certainly not effective. My name is Russell Bradley Cook. I work for HubSpot in our app partnership team. And HubSpot's mission is to help millions of companies grow better. We are building a platform which is simple, easy, and unified so that our customers can use AI in an effective way. So how do we compete in what is effectively an AI arms race today? Gong recently published research that showed that sellers who use personalized outreach based on behavior are 3 times more likely to get replies and meetings booked. Behavior being the key word. The leaders in AI are already, the leaders in our field are already using AI to listen and not just to shout. AI is fundamentally a big data play. HubSpot is working with our app partners to unify the data and break down the barriers. In addition to the CRM, which has your contacts, companies, and deal records, very important for AI, I might add, there are 2 categories which are adjacent, which are extremely relevant for go-to-market today. The first is conversational intelligence with actors like Aircall, Ringover, Gong, Mojo. Huge pool of data that historically has not been in the CRM. And second is product analytics, where we see innovative companies like Amplitude and June using product analytics data in the go-to-market motion. Unifying your conversational intelligence, CRM, and product analytics data allows you to use AI not just to shout at people, but to communicate them at the right time with the right message. Historically, revenue leaders have tracked their sales teams based on number of calls that they've made, number of deals that they've created, and the outcome of those deals, close rates. We are looking to expand that horizon using skill-based routing to ensure the right customer reaches the right rep, automated post-call workflows to ensure that deals can be auto-created, CRM fields can be auto-updated because you know that your sales rep is not going to do that. Mojo is going to have an announcement about that hopefully tomorrow. Is the Mojo team here? And the final piece is drafting follow-up emails. One of the things that salespeople are terrible at doing is sending follow-up emails. And they are also known to misquote things and to misstate the promises of their product. So drafting AI follow-up emails, which direct to knowledge-based articles, ensures that customers receive accurate follow-up messages with next steps. All of this is for individual calls. What we see on the near horizon is a more holistic view. Rather than do analysis on an individual call, sales leaders and revenue leaders can look across all of the calls. One of the questions that HubSpot itself is looking at doing is, why did a certain territory hit target last month but miss this month? Also, what are the behaviors of the top reps that distinguish them from the average reps? And these are questions that AI is undeniably powerful at answering. But listening is not just for the sales teams. It's also for the marketing teams. And there is a great opportunity for marketing teams to use conversational intelligence data with the CRM to understand what are the objections that reps are facing by region. Clara from Factorial. Spain versus France, not the same market. Different market presence, different customer needs. And so understanding what are those objections that are faced by market. Understanding what is the messaging that is working. Marketing people love writing messaging. They don't have to talk to the customers. The salespeople do. And all those calls are recorded. And so marketing leaders can use that to understand which of their messages are actually landing. First, in the sales team using it, and second, with positive outcomes. Is Enzo from June here? I love product analytics. Does anybody do product analytics in here? I would love to talk. No? Does anybody use product analytics? Yes. Anybody? One? Nobody else? All right, good. Two? Yes. I'm very excited about conversational intelligence. Product analytics is So Thibaut? No. You got me with the beard, sorry. Product analytics, alongside conversational intelligence, is the biggest pool of data that sits alongside your CRM that historically has never been integrated. Product analytics tools were product tools built for product people. They were never incorporated into go-to-market motions, and that was a very expensive mistake on the part of the vendors and on the go-to-market leaders. We are seeing that start to change now. HubSpot and our app partners are bringing in AI plus behavior data so that we can do more efficient and more timely outreach. Last week in Boston at HubSpot's Inbound conference, Amplitude announced a new integration with HubSpot, which will bring product qualified leads and automatically create those in HubSpot in our smart CRM. I mentioned Enzo and the team at June. They use product analytics to activate, retain, and upgrade customers. There's not that many people who are using product analytics today, so maybe you'll be interested in some recommendations and some references for how you might apply that today. The first one is feature adoption. One of our US partners is a company called Supered. Does anybody know Supered here? Yay! Hey, Surf. Surf team know about Surf is great. You should talk to Surf. Supered is one of our US partners who has built a business around driving feature adoption. They've actually done that on feature adoption for HubSpot, which is why I love them so much, and Surfday too. What they noticed on their own product was that customers who adopted 2 or more of their core features were more likely to retain. So this is a feature adoption focused company noticing that they have to drive feature adoption in their own products. What we see from HubSpot own perspective, Hotjar, who launched an integration quite a while ago and then refreshed it last year, saw a 10% uplift in usage by having their integration engage on a customer's portal. Speaking of Hotjar, is anybody from Content Square? Nice French company? No? Content Square bought Hotjar last year. Hotjar, you can use their HubSpot integration to track session recordings of rage clicking on your website. So rage clicking, smile at the people at Ocus, are people clicking on a button that does not work on a website. You might think that there would never be a button that does not work on a website. That is incorrect. There are oftentimes buttons that are not working. So there's many different reasons why things could be not working on a website. Rage clicking is multiple repeated clicks on a single area of a website. And so what Hotjar has innovated is to have a session recording of that pushed directly onto the contact record in the CRM. So things that are happening in the product pushed into things that are happening in the CRM that can match against customer data, that can be matched against deal value. And the value of that is that your customer success team can reach out to the customer proactively to resolve the problem rather than wait for a very expensive after-hours call that needs to get escalated because it's from a top-tier customer. The third use case is behavior-based prioritization. And so to give a little plug for HubSpot, we have our just launched it last week, a feature which allows you to prioritize leads so that your sales team does not have to guess who they should be calling next. One of the key things that CRMs often historically have not done is to show you, of all of these people that are in your book of business, who should you be calling today? AI is fundamentally, and I think this is the core part of my talk, is fundamentally a big data play. And the impact of that AI is dependent on the connections between your data. And so what HubSpot is doing is breaking down with our app partners the silos of data that you have. Your conversational intelligence data, your product analytics data, your CRM data, so that AI can make more accurate and relevant responses to customers. With our French tech app partners, like Aircall, Ringover is out here, Mojo, June, Livestorm. Livestorm, anybody here? Surf? Yay, go Livestorm. Surf. HubSpot is ensuring that our customers have access to a platform as well as the tools that are at the leading edge of technological innovation. Our AI-driven recommendations, together with our app partners, ensure that teams are reaching the right people with the right message to deliver not only efficiency, but also effectiveness. In an AI-powered go-to-market world, HubSpot's product and our app ecosystem are fascinating and very innovative areas that are experiencing high amounts of growth. Thank you very much for your time today. I'll leave some time for questions, but in the words of our co-founder, Brian Halligan, we're just getting started. Is anybody using AI for the use cases that I mentioned? Do you have another microphone?
No, but just confirming that I'm using AI.
What's your use case today?
But like the things you mentioned, like for follow-up emails, like I use a competitor of Mojo, but yeah, I've been doing this for
Which one? I don't work for
a year
Mojo.
and a
So.
half. They're called Lexi. Okay. Yeah. Won some deals from Mojo back in the day. But besides that, for everything, account research, like I've not been filling my CRM for 2 years now, I think, manually, and always using HubSpot. So I think it's honestly about time that that it becomes native in the platform. Honestly, also using Clay to enrich, keep info up to date, because beside it not being filled in, you also have to maintain it, right? Yeah. So yeah, that.
Yeah, HubSpot last week in Boston announced Breeze AI, which does company level enrichment. And we see Cognism is here, Surface here. There's a lot of tools which are very useful for contact level enrichment. We don't do that currently, but absolutely it makes sense at the company level to provide really good feedback and insight to your sales reps before they jump into calls. My only criticism of those tools is that they operate basically on public data, whereas companies have a lot of private proprietary data sitting in calls and sitting in products, and making sure that they're not just dependent on an off-the-shelf tool, but actually incorporating their own data into those responses, so that sales reps and CS reps are going into calls ready to have a very valuable discussion.
Definitely.
Anybody else using AI? What about the product analytics people? How are you using? Which tool do you use today?
I'm biased because I manage all the product teams at Aircall a couple of years back. So what you talked about
Do you
resonates
use
a lot.
Amplitude or Mixpanel or?
Well, we were integrated with HubSpot at Aircall. So basically, we were working on all the workflows and all the automations. So
Yeah, I can give a plug for Aircall. Does anybody else in here use Aircall? Yes, only one? Come on, there's more of you than use Aircall. Yes, get in. I see you back there.
We use another one which is called
Medzi?
Medzi. And there's an AI software for cold calling. So we use it for all prospects
Outbound.
or outbound, especially for all prospects or someone that we're starting right now, prospects that we don't see a lot of value, just to nourish and see if we are improving the pitch. And we are getting some deals.
Cool. So great outbound use case for calling. Has anybody used Ringover? And Ringover customers? Happy Ringover customers in here? No? Well, I just said very quickly, I spent a lot of time thinking about calling. Two main use cases, outbound calling and inbound calling. HubSpot's customer service platform called Service Hub recently launched Help Desk, which is allowing customer success team, as opposed to an account management team, but a customer success team to deal with customers in a very efficient way. And Aircall built the first integration to that tool. We are seeing some big deal multi-seat licenses coming in through the pipeline, that validating that companies often have a calling tool that they want to keep using, even if they're not happy with their current CRM or Service Hub tool. And so, yeah, big fan of calling. Who else is using AI? Talk about more AI use cases. We got one in the back. You got to shout. Just shout.
I mean,
So, yeah, say that again. Yes. AI and
Say-
HubSpot.
also HubSpot customer, Aircall customer. So we are using HubSpot the last 7 years, and we see that you develop your own proprietary like AI inside the functionalities of HubSpot. But then you mentioned also like leveraging other application partners to use AI. How do you work around the features that you build with AI and the features that your app partners have, let's say, in order to deliver, like in the end, some solutions to the partners? Because for conversation intelligence, for example, you do integrate with Aircall, with Gong, that they also have conversation intelligence. You are developing also in HubSpot conversation intelligence. How do you go around that? Or what are you going to develop, and what are you going to rely on what the market is using, let's say?
It's a very good question. HubSpot is focusing on having an open ecosystem, I think is the easy answer. The much harder answer is AI is moving extremely rapidly. We launched 4 new AI agents at Inbound last week. Could I have told you what those were 2 weeks ago? No. And so can I promise my app partners that we're not building something in there focusing around features that they would potentially be interested in building? I can't. We do try to communicate what we are building as best as we can without revealing secret sauce or non-public information because we are a public company. I can give you maybe, I can give you a good example. For example, Fathom AI recently launched and built on a new functionality. Are any of you HubSpot app partners? I saw Surf, Livestorm. Anybody else? Chili Piper, yeah. Anybody use Chili Piper? Yes. So we recently launched something called app cards, or also called user interface extensibility. And so that allows much more flexibility using a React framework for our app partners to build directly into any of HubSpot's columns. Whereas in the past, we had a CRM card, which was on the right and very limited. App Cards offers a lot more flexibility, and we launched with 14 partners at Inbound. One of the partners who built on it was a company called Fathom, who compete in conversational intelligence. And what they provided was a card which summarized multiple different calls. And I think that's a great example of providing a unified view of data, and also something that we might potentially be looking at, but Fathom just is like building it faster. And so we want to make sure that we have that extensibility so that partners can build on it, and continue to be an open ecosystem. Any other questions? Paul from Mojo. Woo! I was talking about Mojo before. Who else has got questions? Surf, what are you guys thinking about? This is one of my best app partners. 6,000 installs, growing 50% year on year. What are you guys doing? Let's get a microphone, Marta from Surf.
Well, AI is actually one focus that we are having at the moment internally for product, but also here it's not something probably that I can reveal just as yet.
Come on. I was on that call. 2025 roadmap.
But yeah, like the main focus for us is integrating AI so that like sales reps specifically know when to reach out to which contact, and also like with the right messaging. So our reflections around AI are always mainly about sales use cases and also what we see internally.
The right time. One of the well-known secrets is that most people are not in the market for whatever you're selling. As any SDR will tell you after the first day of work, it's nothing to do with your product. They're just not buying in that category right now. And it could be a lot of factors that are not in your control. So definitely identifying the right person, be it for a customer success call or for an outbound prospecting call, is hugely valuable. Talking to in-market customers, very, very valuable. Livestorm, the guy from Livestorm left. But webinars is a great way to kind of nurture people through that channel so that when they are in market, they are thinking about you and they are engaged in that buying cycle, and you can have a faster close cycle. Any HubSpot customers?
I think we're
at time. We can talk after here.
We have a
but if you have HubSpot customers, I would love to hear what you're looking for, both from HubSpot and for our app partners. So Russell Bradley Cook, I sit in the app partnership team.
Now we have a final question.
Okay.
Don't go anywhere.
All right.
Yeah, thank you. What about
Bonjour, Pascal.
Bonjour, salut, Russell. What's your take on the future of video in sales? You were partnering with StreamYard, and now you're partnering with HeyGen. What do you think about AI avatars in particular for sales?
I saw a very good demo of HeyGen last week. Our head of product, Andy Petrie, who manages about 1,000 product and engineering team, massive team, did a product demo of himself explaining a functionality where the whole thing was AI created. It's extremely powerful. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I think it comes back to people want to use AI to shout louder. And I think the hard thing is to get people's interest and to reach them at the right time. And so, yes, there's you can create photos from scratch, from text to photos. You can create entire websites. You can create social media content. But if people ignore and spam the whole thing, it doesn't matter. And so for me, I think it's really about using the proprietary data that you already have to listen first. And those tools, HeyGen is very, very powerful. AI video is very, very powerful category. But I think you need to reach people after listening and understanding this is the right thing that they need right now. Otherwise, you're just firing up the world's largest spam cannon, And the problem is everybody else is like loading up right next to you, and so everything just gets ignored. So for me, it's really not only shouting, but also listening.
How do you suggest to listening well?
Conversational intelligence and product analytics. No, it's huge pools of data. It's data. AI is a data play. It's a big data play. And so you need to unify your data. You cannot listen. You can't use even HubSpot's own tools, which are based on publicly available data, is not going to give you the most accurate and most relevant answers for your customers who you've already been talking to. You already have data in your proprietary system. So you've got to listen and you've got to integrate your tools.
All right. Big thank you, Russell. Thank you so much.